One. Hi, everyone. My name is Jamie Dunn. I'm the Program Director at Cancer Support Community, and I'm here today with Kathy Thomas, who is the Director of the Weel-fit program out at the Paso Robles Sports Club. So we're excited this January to bring you these wellness videos that are part of our mindful moments that are released every Monday. And in January, we are focusing on our healthy lifestyle classes. So Weel-fit is certainly part of that fold. And if you don't know what Weel-fit is, Kathy will tell you a little bit about it. It's one of our wonderful programs for recovery from treatment and rebuilding. So we're very fortunate to have this option. And if you want to learn more, you can contact us or contact Kathy directly. But she's going to lead us through a couple of light movements today, and I hope you enjoy. So thank you for joining us, Kathy.
Hi, Jamie. Thanks so much. So let me just tell you a little bit about the program. So here at the Sports Club, things are a little modified, as everything is nowadays with COVID, but we're doing our best to keep everybody safe. I do feel like if people are comfortable, we're able to offer a safe environment to come if you want to get out of the house and be around a couple other people. We're keeping the classes very small, and we're outside. So we wear our mask. I wear my mask the whole time. Participants can take their mask off if they're, more than 6 feet apart, which we don't have a problem doing that. We have a lot of acreage here at the club, and we have a lot of outdoor space. So just to tell a little bit about the program, we meet twice a week in small groups. We focus on getting strength back after treatment and balance and working on core to just make your recovery a little better and faster. I like to tell people that if they've never had an exercise program, this is a great opportunity to develop one in a very safe and warm environment with a lot of good support. If you've been an avid exerciser, I love to tell people don't worry about where you're at right now. It will come back. It might be a slower process than you want, but it does come back. And it's nice to have the support of other people that are going through the same thing while you're recovering. So if you want to do some things at home, that's what I was going to focus on today, is just showing you some things to keep in shape while you're at home. And I'll demo some of those movements. You can use, if you have a light set of weights, 2 to 3 pounds is usually adequate to start with. If you don't have weights, you can definitely use things around the house. Water bottles are perfect for some of the activities, some of the weightlifting. You can put wet sand in water bottles to make them a little heavier as you get a little stronger. Body weight exercises are a great way to incorporate things around your house, like countertops can be used to doing push-ups, just regular chairs to doing squats. You can definitely focus on balance, which as we get older seems to get a little bit harder, but also cancer survivors that have just gone through treatment, definitely their balance is usually involved, and that's because they're just generally a little bit weaker and the core strength has gone down. So I'm not going to get onto the floor to do any of the core exercises that we do, because I know there's been some other videos on yoga and Pilates. So we'll focus on more of the standing balance and some little bit of stretches at the end. And then I have a few things to show you that you can use equipment at home. So I'm going to step back and demo some of the movements.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So first, I'll use this chair here. So just a nice sturdy chair. Usually probably a kitchen chair is best when you're starting out, something that's nice and solid. And what I like to tell people is to go about with the shoulder width apart with your legs. And what you want to do is if you're really feeling a little bit weak in your legs, you can go ahead and just sit in the chair and then get up without using your hands. So maybe just focus on doing some squats, sitting and standing. as you progress and get a little bit stronger or feel a little bit like you want to challenge yourself, then you can just move into a tap and up. So things to remember as you're practicing squats, like I said, shoulder width apart with your legs, and don't let your knees cave in. So I don't want to see, I don't know if you can see on the video here, but you don't want your knees to come together like this. You want to keep your legs and your knees apart. So pushing your knees out a little and sticking your butt back like you're sitting in a chair. So you can start off maybe with 5. That might be difficult in the beginning, and then progressing to about 15 and trying to do maybe 2 sets of 15 per squat. That's a good way to work on your booty, a little bit on your quads. So just to keep things going. A lot of times I do notice that is one of the hardest things that people have trouble with when they feel the most sore when we start off in the program, which is, kind of surprising because you think, oh, I sit down and get up all the time. But a lot of people will reach back. You don't really realize that you're using your hands to help you get down and up, and that makes it so much easier. So taking your hands out of it and just letting your legs do the work is one exercise. So that's a great thing to start with. Countertops at home can be used to do push-ups. So go a little bit wider than shoulder. You want to come down. Up. This is working the chest muscles. So nice and wide. Again, maybe starting with 5 to 8, progressing up to 15, and then doing a couple sets of those with a little bit of a break in between. I do have some weights to show you a few exercises for triceps and biceps, but if you don't have weights at home, and these are only 3 pounds, very light, you can pick them up at Walmart, Target, carry them, and they're generally about $1 a pound. So a set of 3-pound weights would only be about $3 each. But if you don't want to go get weights, grab something around the house. Water bottles work great. Start with water bottles. That's a bicep. You can do an overhead press. That's working the shoulders. You can combine the two. Bicep curl, overhead press. Things to look for here, keeping elbows nice and tight into the sides, so not letting them flail out here, not going way out here. That's really a lot of pressure on the shoulders. So keeping everything nice and tight, elbows in, down, and up overhead. If you want to make your water bottles a little heavier, you could put some rocks or sand in there to make it a little harder, or again, use some weights if you have weights at home. Same thing for triceps. So to work the back of your arm, which a lot of women always complain, that's when we go here, we have that little flab that nobody wants. So you're going to lean forward slightly, take your elbows back, and just press back. So I'll turn this way so you get both views. I'm keeping my elbows in nice and tight, not putting my shoulders way up here. A lot of people, when they're working on exercises, shoulders come up. Remember, shoulders down, elbows back, and pressing. You can also turn your hands facing up, your palms facing up, and do just little presses here for triceps. So again, tricep or tricep little pulses. So I have a kettlebell to demonstrate a back exercise, but a lot of people don't have kettlebells. You can use weights if you have weights, water bottles, or usually your back is a pretty strong muscle. So a little bag. So you can take a bag. You don't have to go purchase a big heavy weight. Take a bag, put some cans of soup or some cans of food in there, and you can do a row. So it looks like this with the bag. Same thing with the weight. So you're gonna kind of stagger your feet a little, lean on your front leg, keep your back nice and straight, and pull. Remember when we used to have lawnmowers that we had to pull to start? It's kind of that motion. So elbows coming straight back. But like I said, you don't have weights, take the bag with some groceries in it. You can use that. You can use a lot of household stuff at home and get some exercise without spending a lot of money. Let's see. You got back row, bicep squats. Let's go to some balance. Back up just a little bit more. Can you see my feet, Jamie? Yeah, okay. Okay, so balance is another thing that tends to get a little more difficult if we've been sitting around a lot or haven't been as active, or if our core strength is going. So one way to work on it is to just heel toe, put one foot in front of the other. So and then you're gonna bend slightly in the knees, tuck your bottom under, so you don't want to be too far forward, too far back. Nice and straight over your feet. Once you feel comfortable here, and believe it or not, this is very hard for some people starting out. If it's too hard, stagger your feet just a little bit more side to side instead of front to back. That'll give you a little more stability and work up to the front to back. Once you're comfortable there, you can try bringing your hands up. That makes it more difficult. And then looking to the right, looking to the left. Again, challenge. Look to the right, look to the left. I might be making this a little easy. This is usually pretty difficult for people when they start off, and don't worry about that. It gets better and better the more you practice. When your vision goes, like, so if you're standing on one foot, or if you're standing how I was just demonstrating, one foot in front of the other, and you look to the side, your body kind of wants to go with you. And so that's why we focus on it. So normally, when people are first starting out, this is kind of more how it looks. A little more wobbly, hands are here, and you start to turn. So that's why I try to give you the cues to remember slight bend in the knees, tuck the bottom underneath, get your balance first, then try adding on the challenge. And then one more thing that we work our way up to is we close our eyes. 1, 2, 3. Everybody starts to wobble a little bit when we close our eyes, but eventually it gets better and better. Another thing to work on balance is you can use a chair. You can stand on one foot and try to reach down, come back up, hold that balance. Now again, most people are starting off with their foot down, but no weight in the foot, sliding it back, sliding it forward, and that's pretty challenging for some people right in the beginning, but working your way up to maybe lift the foot up, and then you might have to tap down, and eventually you'll get to lift and being able to lift the foot and keep the foot off the ground. So do maybe 10 on each side, switch legs, kind of, walk around a little bit to kind of give your legs a little break. So those are things I like to do for balance. Of course, do both sides. Let's see what else. Stretches. Stretches are another thing that's really important to do at home, especially as you're starting to get more active. One stretch I really like is if you have a step at home, you can, that's in the camera, you can drop your heel off of this step to stretch that calf muscle, your calf muscle right there. Those get really tight when we've been sitting around a lot, and it leads to some other injuries in your feet. So stretching that calf muscle, and hold the stretch for about 8 seconds. And then same thing on the other side. So do both sides. If you don't have stairs at home, you can use a wall. Wedge your foot in and then lean forward, and you'll feel that stretch go right up the calf muscle. So again, holding that stretch, doing both sides. And then, so we usually have a wall. Well, you would have a wall at home. You can see me stuff. So taking your forearm all the way to your elbow on a wall, getting it so you're on the edge of the wall, and then turning out is a nice chest stretch. So that's really stretching through here. Feels really good. A lot of people who've had breast cancer surgeries or any surgeries in this area or any lymph node removal, this stretch really feels good. And then repeat on the other side. So turn and stretch out. Grabbing onto, I'll use this, but you can use a pole or a wall or anything that's not going to move, and you can lean back and let it stretch out your back muscles. So that's just stretching back here in my lats. Another one. I'm getting out of camera. Back here. So for that quad muscle, after you're doing your squats, you might feel a little tight in those quads. So you just kick your leg back, and that stretches that whole calf muscle. Quad muscle, sorry. Again, hold the stretch for about 5 or 6 seconds. And then switching to the other side. Kick back. If that's too difficult, you can lay down and do that on the floor too. And then another one I like to use, it's also good to have like a wall or something to hold on to when you do this stretch. So one foot is over the other, and then I'm just leaning down. So I'm stretching that back hamstring muscle. And then the other side. This is a little challenging if you have any balance issues. Sometimes this is a little challenging. That's why I say have something maybe close by to hold on to if you need it. So leaning down.
Thank you so much, Kathy.
So hopefully that helped a little bit, but there's lots of stuff you can do at home that you don't have to have equipment, or if you don't feel comfortable coming to the gym and meeting our group, it's not a problem. You can do some things at home. There's great videos online too. Body weight exercises are really good, but you can also use, like I said, water bottles, soup cans to lift weight, and then you can eat after.
Yes.
So I hope everybody has a happy new year, and we'd love to have you come join the program. If you feel comfortable, please feel free to call me. If you have any questions, if you're not quite sure about coming over to the gym, just call me. I've had a few people that came and felt very safe and so ended up joining the program, but I don't mind if you come over for a visit just to kind of check it out. And if you don't feel you're ready for it yet, that's fine too. So should I give my phone number?
Please.
Okay, so the best way to get a hold of me is my cell phone or an email, but probably my cell phone. And my phone number is 805-610-6486. But wishing everybody a happy new year, and hopefully we're at the end of COVID soon.
Yes, thank you so much. Our information for Kathy is on our website and also on our calendar if you want that. And if you have any questions for her about getting started, I love that you made it very accessible and normalize the struggle sometimes of getting started in a movement program, especially after treatment. So I think you made it sound very approachable, very doable. And I think that's so important for our patients to understand that when they feel like they're starting at even before square one, they're at their bottom. So thank you for that.
Yeah, everybody has to start somewhere, and everybody's so supportive here. And I think people are a little intimidated to start a program.
Yeah.
But they're very happy. And like I said, everybody's so supportive. And I've seen people like come in that could not stand on one foot at all, and now are doing all these crazy balance things, and they're we do have other members that have joined the gym that come back to visit the program, and they kind of tell people their success stories, and they say, well, I started either, and look at what I can do now. So it does come back.
So good. Thank you for that positive reinforcement. I think that's important. So thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate it.